What is up, YouTube? It is the 4th of July. The shop is closed. I'm the only one here. I wanted to try and get a little bit more work done on this FXR I've been working on. It's kind of turned into a nightmare, essentially having to like rewire the whole thing, and it's got some other problems that I want to try to get a head start on while the shop is closed and there's less distractions. Anyways, while I'm here, I figured it'd be a great time to show you guys some of the tools I use day in and day out as a Harley Davidson mechanic. I'm gonna go over with you guys which tools I think are worth investing in and having a good quality set of. Stick with me, let's go through this toolbox. Hopefully I can learn y'all a thing or two and maybe even save you some money so you don't have to waste money on things that I wasted money on. Anyways, let's go. All right, well, I just spent about the last 10 minutes going over this toolbox and I realized my GoPro was not even on. So we're gonna start fresh. I was talking too much the last time anyways. So here we go. We're gonna start on the outside of the box here. Let's see, we got paper towels, use these all the time, little magnetic holder from Harbor Freight. We got some cable lube. We got some polish to get your fingerprints off a bike. T27 and T25 are the most common Torx fasteners on Harleys. So I've got two T25s here, two T27s. Windex I use to clean off chrome basically on bikes. This little thing here, super custom tool. This is what I use to adjust a rear axle on like a Dyna or an old touring bike. Basically it's a metal hanger in the swing arm. You put this in the little hole on the swing arm. You adjust your zip tie here until you get it lined up in the middle of the axle, and then go put it on the other side of the bike, make sure everything's even. Super expensive tool, not really, you can make that for 1 cent. This little deal here, if you are unsure what size and thread pitch a bolt is, you can basically come and run the bolt into one of these until you find out which one it matches. Same with a nut. This was super cheap on Amazon. I think 15 bucks, 10 bucks, something like that. They sell bigger ones with more options and less. This one's perfect for me. Digital tire pressure gauge. Use this on every bike that comes in here. The real thing about this is the end piece of this Motion Pro swivel deal here. On Harleys, a lot of times it can be pretty hard to get to the valve stems. So this pretty much covers you with any kind of weird direction. It's going to be pointed. Okay. And then over here we have, I hate PCs, but this is just a work camera. This is just a work computer. Basically, it's just service manuals on here. This is my computer from school going to MMI. Piece of shit, but it has all my service manuals on it. You're gonna want pens, notes, or paper so you can take notes. You see notes and shit. Let's see what we got in here. Oh yeah, there we go. Subscribe, like, and comment. Hell yeah, brother. Do it. Anyways, pens, all that stuff. Sharpies, super great to have because you can write on stuff other than paper. Use them all the time. On the lid here, little magnetic tray. I pretty much just put broken tools in that until I can get them fixed. And some magnetic little extendable deals when you drop a bolt somewhere and you need to get it out. And you can't reach it with your fat fingers. Then we got lights here. Icon light, both super great lights, about 30 or 40 bucks. Buy those lights. The Snap-on lights, the Mac lights. This is a Mac light. This light was like $110 or something. It's not any better than those lights. No better. This light here is a Amazon special. These are like 2 for $30. I really like the strip light here. Plenty bright for most things I'm going to be doing. And what's really cool about this one is you put it on infrared mode. When your hands are all greasy, you can just swipe your hand right by it, turn it on and off. You don't have to keep touching it. Super great, super cheap on Amazon. They do sell these on the tool truck too. Identical, same everything on the tool truck. You're gonna be paying like 100 bucks for one of these. Amazon, baby. These little bungees, I don't know if I already mentioned these. These little bungees I use all the time for just securing anything on a bike while I'm working on it. A lot of times it's brake calipers. You take those off and you secure them up to a peg, and that helps keep them out of the way and keep them from damaging. This little stopwatch is something I just started doing. There's a thing called like Pompadour method or something like that. It's for studying, which is when you set a timer for, I think it's 25 minutes. You work really hard for 25 minutes and then you give yourself a 5-minute break to do whatever every 25 minutes. So I normally set that for half an hour. Don't check my phone. Don't do anything. Just focus on the project that I'm doing. Been trying that the last couple of weeks, and it works pretty well. These are, I think I got 4 of those on Amazon for $10 or something like that. All right, moving into the first drawer. This is the drawer I use constantly in here nonstop. Okay, so the back, both of the back is just pry bars. These orange ones are snap-on pry bars. You don't need snap-on ones. I have a set of 3 right here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see in here with the light. I can hardly see in here right now. But we got 3. These are Tecton. This is a company out of Michigan. Lifetime warranty tools. They're super great, super cheap. I've had no issue with any of my Tecton stuff. Those are worth getting. And we have a set of snap-on screwdrivers. Phillips head and flat head fasteners get stripped out all the time. That is something having, maybe not a full set like this, but it's something worth having a couple good screwdrivers so you are not messing up your fasteners constantly. So I went with the snap-ons. I really like those. They're great. What else do we got here? While we're over here, you want an air blow-off tool, blowing off brake clean, whatever, clearing off whatever, dirt. You need an air blow tool. Doesn't have to be expensive. That's a snap-on one. I have a ton of 1/4-inch drive sockets for a ton of stuff. You'll see hex, torque, you know, just sockets in general. So having a little like screwdriver type thing with a hex end on it, or I mean a 1/4-inch drive end on it that's locking, it keeps me from having to buy a ton of individual tools like this. So I already have all the sockets. You can use this with all of them. This is a Mac tool. This does not need to be anything special. He just happened to be here that day and I happened to want it, so I got it off the Mac truck. All right, we have long torque spits. These are Tecton. I don't have to use these all the time, and the Tecton has been super great to me. I don't remember what these cost, but they are definitely not snap-on prices. Nice to have. Then I have my long standard ball and straight hex. These ones are Icon. On the long bits, you're not normally going to be putting a ton of torque on these because they're meant to reach somewhere, not really break something free. I've never had these specifically strip anything out or haven't had an issue with them, so I haven't had a need to upgrade them yet. Those are the Icon ones from Harbor Freight. They've been great. 3 years I've had them. These are actually snap-on ball ends. Ball end hexes are something you want to spend some money on. They break constantly, and a lot of times the ball will be stuck in the bolt that you're trying to get out. It's a super pain in the ass, or you'll strip it out. I got snap-on ones of these because I was sick of doing that. Night and day difference. Next up, we got a couple random sockets here. I'll go over this one specifically with you. This is a 1/4-inch 12-point. On some brake calipers, you need that to get your pads out. So that's a snap-on one. I got a cheap Aries set of spark plug wrenches. They're spark plug sockets. Those don't need to be super expensive. And then we have snap-on impact, short and deep. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then we have Icon chromes, which I don't use a ton. Normally if I'm reaching for 3/8 stuff, it's going to be impact. You know, I'm not going to take all day with chromes. Anyways, so we have Icon chromes. They've given me no problems whatsoever. Really like those, and I can walk in there same day if I break one, which I have, and they'll give me a brand new one out of a brand new set. We got a couple long 1/4-inch drive extensions. Don't use those a ton. This one I use all the time, long 3/8 drive extension. I use that for the little oil cup to get the oil filter off. Next up, we have snap-on, more snap-on. 1/4-inch drive, long and shallow. Love those. To be honest with you, my favorite tools to use, hand tools wise, are my snap-on 1/4-inch drive stuff. I feel like a fucking surgeon when I'm using it, and it's just enjoyable to use. Those, for me, were worth the money, but I use them constantly. Next up is a super short set of 1/4-inch drive hex. These are from VIM Tools. Not super expensive, but definitely good quality. Don't need them super shorts all the time, but when you need them, you need them. Another set of snap-on hex. These are the super stubby hex. in a mixed drive format. This and this are my Tecton sets. These are 1/4 inch. I use these all day, every day. I wish Snap-on sold a full set of these in 1/4 inch drive just like this, because I would buy them. Not because these are bad, but because I use them so much that I like to have Snap-on for the stuff I use a lot. And that's just personal preference. Don't need them. These Tecton ones are great, and they're cheap. Like 30 bucks a set, I think. Then we have a Snap-on set, 3/8 drive hexes. We've got a mix of Mac and Blue Point Torx. Torx you're going to want to spend some money on because they get stripped out commonly. And they're generally not super hard metal on those fasteners. Then we got Snap-on metric 3/8 drive hex. We've got Snap-on, oh, we missed this back here. So I also have the Snap-on SAE universal bits here, or universal sockets. However, the only one I really ever use of these is this 1/2 inch drive, and it's always for the same bolt. It is for the front exhaust stud bolt or nut. That's all that gets used for. Those are high dollar, you don't really need them. And if you do that job a lot, just get the 1/2 inch. So we have the same in metric here. We have short, medium, and deep 1/4 inch drive Snap-ons. Love those. And then for our impact, we have Matco shallow and deep impact. And then for our chromes up here, because I don't use them a ton, I just have my Snap-on mid-lengths. This little tool here is off of Amazon. This, you don't need this so much on Harleys. I think a couple of them you do need to use this on, but it's for axle nuts. But it's 4 sizes in one. You've got 17, 22, 24, and 19 all in the same tool here. So this, I think Motion Pro makes ones like 50 bucks. This was like $20, maybe less on Amazon. It's worth doing that if you run into those kind of axles a lot. What else do we got here? This is all pretty much just extensions. I have some impact extensions, some chrome ones. There's some ball end ones in there. This is a mix and match of Icon and Snap-on. Nothing super fancy there. My 2 long 3/8 drive ratchets. This one is Icon here. It's been super great. I did break one, and Harbor Freight replaced it. I think I broke it like right away after I had it. And now I've had this one like almost 3 years, and I've had no issues with it. So I don't see a reason to update these just yet into like Snap-on, because I try to use 1/4 inch as much as I can. Matco straight, that's been good. 2 Snap-on stubbies here. Use those a lot when you don't need a lot of torque on something. Snap-on regular ratchet. These 2 right here are surprisingly 2 of my favorite ratchets. And these came, these are from Amazon. These are like $25 each. And the reason I got them, I didn't plan on using them a lot, but I thought I might need them once in a while. But the head is the size of a normal 1/4 inch drive socket. So these fit in a lot of places. They're super convenient, and like these were so cheap. And I use these the most out of all my 3/8 drive sockets, or ratchets. Another Matco straight there. We got this Mac Flex. I use this once in a while. I don't super need that. This one here, we're getting into the 1/4 inch drive stuff. On one end, it is a 1/4 inch drive ratchet there. On the other end is a bit holder, which is what I normally use this for. Any of the bits you'll see in another drawer. I have 1/2 length bits that can go into this and get into some tight places. This is my absolute favorite ratchet, my Snap-on long. Love that. You don't need that, but I love using that thing. Then we have another Matco straight. We have a Matco flex locking flex head. We got a gear wrench flex head, a little Snap-on small boy, and this little Mac stubby little tiny thing. I use this all the time off the Mac truck. This screwdriver here is something I got not too long ago. This is by Vessel. They make some really good screwdrivers, but they make sets. I haven't tried them before. I didn't know if it was just hype or not. This one little screwdriver comes with these bits, but this is the Japanese standard Phillips or whatever. It's a lot more precise than the American ones, especially when you're working on Japanese stuff. Nice to have. I have yet to strip out a fastener with that yet. A little metal rule for setting like primary chain tension or just measuring things in general. And then flush cuts, I have one of these. I have a ton of flush cuts, but you want them to be flush back here. So when you cut zip ties, it cuts it nice and flush, and it doesn't leave a sharp edge behind to cut whoever goes in there behind you. And then these cheap razors from Harbor Freight, I buy a handful of these almost every time I go in there. I have them like in every drawer of my toolbox. Sharpies all over the place. I have these in like just about every drawer of my toolbox too. Super convenient. I think that just about covers everything up here. Don't forget to have a loaded hole punch, because motherfuckers be tripping. Loctite. I use a ton of Loctite. If you're working on Harleys, you're not using Loctite, you are messing up. The blues here, I got the red over on the lift probably somewhere, but I go through a ton of Loctite. All right, on to the next drawer. I'll keep this short and sweet because this is all pretty much the same brand. Everything in here is Icon. I've had it for about 3 years. No problems with these. So we got the stubbies in standard and metric. Got the regular size, standard and metric, and I have the flex ratcheting wrenches, standard and metric. No issue with any of this stuff so far. I'm not going to sit here and say it's as good as Snap-on, but it's pretty fucking close. I broke one of the ratcheting wrenches, and I took it back the same day. They opened up a box and gave me a brand new one. I haven't had an issue with them since. And that was a small one. It was a 10 mil. I was trying to do something with it I shouldn't have been trying to do. So most of this is Icon, okay? Outside of that, this is from Amazon, a set of super tiny wrenches. Every once in a while you need these. It's not super common, but they are nice to have. Another thing that's nice to have when you don't need it all the time, is these super thin wrenches here. Okay, they're thin this way. So again, I've only had to use these maybe 3 times ever, but when you need them, nothing else will get at those nuts or bolts. Clutch when you need them. Super cheap on Amazon, less than $30. This here is another thing. This is like kind of a knockoff of something on Snap-on truck. They have a super wide jaw adjustable wrench here. Goes super wide for the size. This is like $25 on Amazon. Snap-on makes one. I think it's $150. This one's been great. I don't use it a ton, but it's nice if I don't have the specific size that I need. Pick that up. Worth the money. That covers pretty much everything in here. Look, another one of those razors. There's probably a Sharpie in here somewhere. If not, then I messed up. But another adjustable wrench, just a little cheap one. Next drawer. This is like a lot of Harley specific stuff, pretty much. So you're gonna want pick sets. They don't have to be super good, but I have Snap-on ones. So I got some short picks here, Snap-on, long picks, Snap-on. This is a double-ended like dental pick that I got from the flea market. We got some Snap-on small screwdrivers. This is out of another set that I have of Matco ones, I believe. I just like the bend of this one, so that's in there. Having a bunch of options for picks is pretty clutch. These are Snap-on. These are for like getting O-rings out without damaging stuff. You use it in the same way you use a pick, but you can see the difference here. These are angled more like this than a pick. Whereas a pick is just sharp and pointy. These are nice for not damaging stuff. Okay, all right, that covers picks. I have probably 4 or 5 more sets of picks in my other box. I use those a ton. This one is kind of a mess here. All right, so you got an impact. This is a Tecting one. You don't have to use this a ton, but when you get shit that's about to strip out, you need it. Okay, so I don't know if I should be going through how this stuff works or what. So basically what this is, you put that on, if you have a Phillips or whatever that is starting to strip out when you're trying to get it out, you'll put that in there, you'll turn it to the left, and you whack it with a hammer. And as you're hitting this with a hammer, it slightly turns. As the pressure from the hammer is going in, that'll save your ass too. It has saved mine numerous times. Okay. Put that back up. This is something I just got and I've been putting it off for a while. I do brakes all the time, and to get them pried apart, there's nothing really good for motorcycle calipers. They're all meant for cars and they're too wide to fit in there. This was, I think, $50 off Amazon for spreading pistons and brake calipers. I wish I would have bought this like 3 years ago. Honestly, it's great. I don't know the brand, but if you guys hit me up, If you want to know, I will go back in my Amazon orders and I'll find it for you and let you know. Let's see here. Okay, this is a little icon bit set. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's for getting into really tight places. This one though, right here, is fucking money. This is a VIM set. This was about $150, but these are half-length bit sets. Super short. I use this all the time for getting into tight places. All the time. It came with this short ratchet or whatever you want to call it is what came with the package. I ended up going back and buying this one. This alone was like 60 bucks. Totally worth it. I use this all the time. So much. You're going to want something to take some measurements with. I got a little digital caliper here. Use that all the time. That's an Amazon one, I think. Not super expensive, but you want it to be accurate. A lot of these are size specific for different Harley stuff. This is for the bottom of fork bolts. When you're draining forks to tubes. This is a T70. This alone, this freaking socket was like $70, I think, from Snap-on. It's a T70, and you need that for doing some compensators. What else we got in here worth mentioning? A brake fluid moisture tester. That's pretty self-explanatory. You dip it in your brake fluid, and it'll tell you if you're over moisture or not. If it's over 3%, you really should change it. But I use that all the time. That's Amazon. Use this tool for checking your belt tension. That can be found on Amazon, pretty cheap. Tread depth checker. It's pretty obvious when your tires are bad, but if you are talking to customers, it's nice to be able to show them in black and white a measurement of what's left on their tires. They got some feeler gauges. You're going to want to spend a little bit of money on these. Don't be super cheap because the really cheap ones are they're not super accurate. All right, we got a spring puller. If you have 2-in-1s and you like performance exhausts like I do, this thing helps you get the springs on and off. Also for kickstands. This came out of a kit. I didn't even buy this. This came with something else, and I just kept that. You got a little tool, Amazon, for locking a primary to get that loose. Oil filter cup. Get on these torque wrenches because I keep looking at them just before I forget. I've got a digital 3/8 torque wrench from Gear Wrench. Piece of shit. I hate that thing. And I've got a Snap-on click type, which is high foot-pound or low foot-pounds. I've got an inch-pound 3/8 drive Snap-on here. And then this one I use the most probably. And this is a Gear Wrench 1/4-inch drive, inch-pounds. Use that all the time. Harbor Freight hammer, I think $5. I use this more than any other hammer for knocking off like primaries and stuff like that you don't want to damage because it's soft. $5 I think at Harbor Freight. More sets of cutters. Thread sealant. I put this on every drain bolt that I put back into the bike along with a new O-ring. Anti-seize, use that when you need it. Even though I have a ton of Allen bits up here, you still want the actual L keys. So I have Icon as well. These ones I got from Northern Tool. They're a little bit shorter. It's nice to have options with this stuff. Really, you don't think you need that many, but until you need it. I've got a seal puller in here. That's pretty self-explanatory. A little mirror. This is not mine. This needs to go back in the shop. But this is for filling up air shocks and stuff like that on Harleys. You can use it, but also like dirt bikes. What else? Paint pens. Use these all the time. If you pull off a primary chain, and you're going to be reusing that, you want to mark the side that's facing you. You always want to put it on the same way. Also, when you're doing push rods, adjustable push rods, it's nice to be able to mark them so when you're counting the number of turns to adjust them, you know where you're at. Another Sharpie. Sharpies in every drawer. Mirror. This is a cable luber. I don't really fucking use it that much. Kind of gimmicky. Tape measure. You want to be able to measure stuff. Let's see, what else we got here? Anything else? This is for a specific tool for doing rocker boxes on Harleys. Ooh, here's something. Put it this way. These are dog legs, torque adapters. So this is a set from Lowbrow Customs I bought a couple of years ago. It comes in multiple sizes for what this one cost from Snap-on. The snap-on 1/2 inch though is the one that I needed the most. So I got the snap-on 1/2 inch, and then we got a 7/16, 9/16, and 5/8. You need a mixture of these to do your rocker boxes and actually torque them down properly. We got some other adapters here for doing torque. I have full sets of these, but these are the only ones I ever use. I use this one for adjusting a clutch at the pressure plate. It's the 11/16 size you're going to use. I forgot what I was using that for, honestly. This tool here is for getting off. I use this on pretty much every 36mm axle to get it off. Hook it up to the 1/2 inch impact and just zip them right off. What else do we got here? Got some intake manifold tools. I don't use these a ton. I feel like I used to have to use these all the time. And then now with all my bits and stuff like that, I rarely have to touch those. What else do we got here? These are different fittings for my vacuum brake bleeder. Now we'll just talk about that real quick. This was $60 on Amazon, I believe. This makes bleeding brakes effortless. Bleeding them, flushing them, whatever. It's by Billet Tools, Amazon. If you do your brakes a lot, totally worth it other than doing them by hand. What else do we got in here? We got some suspension tools. This is for a suspension cap, or a fork cap, I mean. I got another one in here too somewhere. Now I'm all messed up. Anyways, Harley specific tools. This drawer is kind of just a mess. Next drawer is all pliers. Pliers is another one of those things. The more you have, the better off you are. Let's see, what can you get away with cheap in here? I have a Nipex snap ring plier set. These are dope. Snap rings are one of those things you're not gonna mess up. The snap ring, if you have cheap pliers, but you will hate your life. So if you do them a lot, it's nice. It's worth getting nice snap ring pliers. So I got the Nipex set. I got a couple single snap-on ones, okay, and then a couple Matco ones here. The most commonly ones I use. This is a little cheap one. Don't use it often, but you can flip the sides on it, so it has different sizes all in one. Pair of nice scissors. Again, another Sharpie, another razor blade. These are what Nipex is known for. They're Cobras. I have all 3 sizes. I use the middle size the most, but I like having sets of things. These are Icon. These are a cool idea. I just literally never use them. These long cutters here. So this is my 3rd one of these. In an effort to not buy the snap-on version, this is a Mac tool one. I have 2 other brands of these. I can't remember. That's one of the next things I'm gonna buy is the snap-on version of this. The snap-on version will cut through literally anything. These ones struggle. That was wasted money of me trying not to buy the good thing, and I'm just gonna go ahead and buy the snap-on one. So these are hose pliers. You're gonna use these all the time. You can do a cheap set of these, but getting a hold of hoses, even pulling anything around, honestly, you can use these for fingers to get back in somewhere and grab something. All right, it's just assortment of long needle nose pliers. We got super long ones here. What else do we got? Some other shit I commonly use. This is a direct knockoff of a snap-on needle nose plier that I have not seen a reason to upgrade to the snap-on version. With that being said, this is an actual snap-on plier that no one else makes that I fucking love, and I just ordered the mini to it as well this week, so that'll be here hopefully next week. These pliers from Nipex are, they're super cool. I don't even know how to explain these. These are what I grab for when I'm grabbing for any pliers that are this style. They have this in the front. They have a little gap in there that is great for grabbing like screw heads or anything like that. These things they're worth the money. They're nice to have. If you need to pull a nail out of a tire, those are the things you need to grab for. More needle nose, more cutters. Let's see here. This is also an Icon set that is similar to the Nipex deal. I don't use these all the time, but they are nice to have when you need them because they have that same little hole like the Nipex ones do to grab a hold of something. Icon. These things, knockoff. So Nipex makes these little mini bolt cutters, which are super awesome, but they're also 50 bucks and you don't use them a ton. But these do the job for cutting spokes and stuff like that. And I think these are like 15 bucks on Amazon. Nobody really needs these, but they're cool as hell to have. All right, I forgot where the fuck we were at here. I think that was over here. Then we got some more just regular random pliers. This is a good Icon set of pliers to have small hose pliers. And then just some mini pliers. Which one is it? One of these I use all the time. These I use all the time. These are Tecton, I believe. And these little needle nose ones I probably will end up getting snap-on here soon too. But here's another set of cutters. These little clamps here. A lot of Harleys have a connection tube in the front of the tank where it connects both sides of the tank and it will leak all over when you go to try to take it off. You can clamp it off with these, cut it in the middle, put a new hose on when it's time to do that and not leak stuff all over the place. All right, what do we have next here? This is the 1/2-inch drawer. I don't use a ton. I don't really come in here that much, honestly, because a lot of the 1/2-inch stuff I use all the time, I have moved up to my Harley specific drawer. But it's nice. I don't see any point in having a 1/2-inch chrome set. I have one, but I never use it. 1/2-inch impact. The only time I'm using 1/2-inch is if it's impact. So they're here if I need them. There's another Sharpie in there. Another long breaker bar here. You need a nice little pick set or a punch set. Don't use them a ton. These ones are pretty good. I don't remember what brand they are. These ones here are cheap from Harbor Freight, like a $5 a set. So I bend these to do what I need to do with them. I was trying to get out a seal not too long ago, so I had to bend that and try to get at it from the top. Nice to have. These I never use. This is just a Blue Point. I got this from school, I think. A Blue Point lug nut set to get lug nuts off a car or a trike, because trikes do have lug nuts. This is my electrical diagnostic drawer. I try to keep the repair stuff out of here, but it ends up just back in here sometimes. This is just the diagnostic stuff. I have another drawer over there for repairs. Let's see. Power probe. Let's start with what you're going to use, what you actually fucking need. Multimeter, a good multimeter. I want to upgrade this. This is still like a $300 multimeter, but it's a Blue Point from school, and I'm over it. Cheap test lights. Inline spark tester to see if your bike's got spark. Where's the other deal here? Spark tester, as long as you got a spark tester, you're good. These are random plugs or pick pins and stuff to undo certain plugs. That's something I actually want to get a snap-on version of too, because those little ones suck. They give you way too many and you don't know which one you're supposed to use. This thing was free in some kind of part I installed. It came with it, but it is basically it's a seam ripper. I use this all the time doing wiring to get people's old shitty electrical tape off or just split cases to wires. That little like dollar tool I use anytime I'm doing electrical. Another Sharpie, some electrical tape, got some solder in here, some rosin, a little pad for doing soldering. These are pretty straightforward. There's nothing special about my electrical crimpers and stuff like that. This is a cool little set of pliers to pull off spark plug boots that are stuck. Don't use it a ton, but when they're stuck, they are stuck for some reason. So an assortment of wire cutters and strippers and crimpers. This is, I believe, my so this is my fuel injector tester. This is off Amazon. I don't use it much, but it does the trick. It activates and deactivates fuel injectors, so you can clean them, see if they work, you can feel them click, whatnot. This is a Noid light set. I only ever use one light out of here, and I believe it's the GM PFI one. I can't remember right now, but you'll see what it fits in. This, you can fire your bike and see if you're actually getting a signal to your fuel injectors. That's a cheap Amazon thing, but it does the trick. This is new. I have not used it yet. It was on clearance though. It is a little digital thermometer with a laser. You can point it at stuff. It's nice to see without just touching cylinders and exhaust. If you have a cylinder that's not running, you can just point this at it. For doing heat shrink, I used to have a big heat gun, but instead now I have this cheap one off Amazon that's small, and you put, where is it at? No, I'm not gonna be able to find it. It's got a little metal thing you can put on the end of it to keep the heat contained. Let's see here. God damn it. Yeah, I don't know where it's at. I probably left it somewhere else. There's a little metal thing around there. You can put it behind a wire and it basically hooks onto it. So you're not blowing the heat all over everything else. That's all you need to do heat shrink with. More side cutters, voltage adapter for the multimeter. What do we have here? This is more test leads and things for the multimeter. I basically bought this whole set just because I needed these needle ones one day. I don't use any of the rest of this stuff. That kind of sucks. This in here is all stuff for the multimeter that I have made to fit different plugs. That's what's kind of cool. You can just pretty much make whatever test leads you need, as long as you have the plugs for them. This used to be the soldering iron I used. I don't anymore. The butane thing's a pain in the ass, but I do use it sometimes to hit shrink wrap in a hurry or heat up small bolts to break them loose. This is a little, again, a little Amazon special, a camera, a little borehole camera that will hook up to my phone. I can look down in cylinder heads, check out pistons, or just take a look in anywhere that I can't see with my eyes. I think this was like maybe $20, $30. I use it probably at least twice a month. All right, that pretty much covers that drawer. I think we talked about the power probe. If we didn't, power probe is clutch. I pretty much never use these test lights now because of that. I'm either grabbing the multimeter, and then if I'm doing more testing, it's gonna be the power probe. It's a power probe 3. It's worth having and learning how to use 100%. Final drawer down here. This is a drawer that, honestly, if you're new to working on shit, I don't even recommend having a bunch of power tools because you will inevitably fuck your bolts up. Not kidding. Anyway, so this is I obviously like Milwaukee. So I would say my most commonly used ones are these two by far. 3/8 stubby impact, and then the little bit driver with a 1/4 inch drive in it. The only time I ever use this is if this won't work, and this will do it 90% of the time, and then really it's only axle nuts that I need to use that for once in a while. These things are great. If I could do this over, instead of having these and all of these, I would have just bought 2 long ones, because these don't get used much. The long one is pretty much all you need. I don't ever really use this screw gun. Once in a while I will. I just literally leave a Phillips head bit in it, because I just use it as a screwdriver, because I use that all the time. I could take this home, but then I need a charger and more batteries at home. Milwaukee drill, another bit driver. This thing is, oh my God, this thing is worth its weight in gold. I fucking love this soldering iron. I put off buying, I put off buying, I put off buying. I finally got it a few months ago. Oh my God. This thing is a lifesaver for the amount of soldering that I do. Great. Then it's pretty much just hammers in here. I have my 1/2 inch digital torque wrench. Yes, some more gloves. And that pretty much covers this. Extra batteries. Cheap mallets from Harbor Freight. My hammers are pretty much just all hand-me-down. The Harbor Freight ones I bought, but they're fucking hammers, dude. People spend $100 on Snap-on hammers, and I do not get it. I do want to go over 2 more things I don't normally keep in this box. They're little kits that I got that I use probably, if not daily, super often. So I'll bring those over here real quick. The first one is this Mac 48-piece thread restoring set. Anytime you pull up, especially inside a motor or anything that needs specific torque, this is not a tap and die set. This is a thread restoring set, okay? So this is from Mac. So anytime there's old Loctite or something in a hole, I always run these through there. It cleans out the threads, and then you get an accurate torque measurement. This is a Mac item, worth getting. I think another company makes it for them, so you can probably find it cheaper somewhere else, but I bought the Mac one. This is another thing. So Mac has a gimmicky tool, I thought, called the RBRT bits. And basically, they're kind of like extractors, but you don't have to use them extract. You can use them as regular tools. But like, so that would be a normal Allen, right? So it grips differently. So I bought this bit set, right? Because I wanted to try a little bit of everything. They have actual legit bits and stuff. This covers me though. I will start to strip out a bolt or a, you know, like a hex bit or something like that. And if I feel it strip out even a little bit, I stop right there. I go grab these, and I've never once, as long as you stop before you get it blown out, I've never once had this not pull out the fastener that I was after. Worth having. Stop messing up your fasteners. Every bike that comes in here, when someone says I do all my own maintenance, that is almost a guarantee, almost a guarantee there's gonna be fucked up shit on there every time. So get these, stop messing up your fasteners. And while I'm thinking about it, I know I mentioned having the laptop, right? Seriously, get a service manual if you're gonna work on your stuff. If you message me and if you comment or message me, I will send you a digital version of your specific service manual. Not kidding. Send me an email, however you can get a hold of me, I will send you one so you don't mess your stuff up. It is so much more of a pain in the ass. My job to go behind people and fix their stuff. I'll take the time and I'll look you up, your service manual, I'll email it to you. Anyways, that pretty much covers this. Let me take this off here. So anyways, that pretty much covers this box. I'm not gonna go through the other boxes today. This has already taken much longer than I planned on it taking today. So I probably missed a few things. I might have blabbed on too much, but this is gonna just be a long video. It is what it is. You don't have to watch the whole thing. This is the kind of format that I like for these kind of videos. And if there's anything you have questions about, I'm not gonna list every fucking tool in here and print it all out for you guys, but any tool that you have a question about, I will send you the link of where you can get it. That is not a problem whatsoever. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any questions, if you want to go through my other boxes one day, hit that up in the comments. I'd be more than happy to. I just, can't do it today. I have other stuff to do, and it is the 4th of July. So anyways, I hope you guys got something from this video. Any questions, hit me up in the comments, send me a message, whatever you need to do. I'm more than willing to answer whatever questions y'all have. And again, if you need a service manual, email me or comment that you need it. I will look up your service manual for you and I will send it to you, and I will not charge you anything for it. Not kidding. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. And yeah, I hope this helped. Anyways, have a good one.